Okay, Madam Mayor. We are live streaming and recording and ready to go whenever you are.
Okay, is the echo off? Okay, no, not at all. I now call the regular meeting back to order at 8:53 PM. And now we'll move on to the rest of our regular agenda. There's 4 action items on the agenda. First, Mr. Rickard is back with Lions Park project improvements.
Thank you, Mayor.
No, it's just the new thing that's happening. Mr. Mihalik, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Takes a village, guys.
Okay, so we are getting really close to wrapping up the Lions Park project. We are working on the last pay app, and that includes some additional construction dollars that for elements that we added to the project to the tune of approximately $180,000. So we're asking for a contingency increase of $180,000, and there's a correction in the recommended action. The actual amount should be $6,538,000, not $6,523,000. And also the budgeted source is REIT, not current expense. Overall, the project has been a huge success. I'm sure everyone has heard great things about it from the residents of College Place. It's been a really, really long project, but overall, we're very, very happy with it. And while we have had some increases in the construction expense side of it, overall, it was really only an additional 16% increase over the original construction dollar amount that was approved by council. Yeah, so we've spent more on engineering because the project has run long, but overall, we did a lot of things in there, like we pruned all of the trees. We have a better pathway instead of asphalt that went to concrete. Lots of elements that most people won't realize were changed, but
Yeah, I think there's a lot under the dirt or, that people don't see.
But
Really,
they notice when it doesn't work.
right. They don't understand what went into the pond and why it's designed and what it's doing now these days. And
sure.
yeah, you're right. So thank you.
So any questions?
And I will say I'm still seeing kids playing in the playground. They're still out there, and here we are in November. Councilmember Lopez, questions or comments?
No, appreciate the park and all the work that's gone into it. Thank you.
Councilmember Cleveland,
No questions.
Councilmember Espinosa, Councilmember Peterson,
No questions. Thank you.
Councilmember Williams,
No questions, thank you.
and Councilmember Sherman.
Questions?
All right. So if there's no questions or additional discussions, do we have a motion?
As Councilmember Williams, I will move to increase the Lions Park Improvement Project contingency amount by $180,000 for a total construction amount not to exceed $6,583,000.
38.
538?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I wrote it down wrong. There was a correction.
Okay.
So, okay, do I need to say it again, or can we just say
No, I
I
think
said
you
it
got
right?
it. We're
Okay.
good.
I'll second.
Right, we have a first and a second. Any additional discussion? All right. Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Oops, I have my microphone, I'm sorry. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it and the motion is passed. Now, Mr. McAndrews will present on the annual amendment to the contract with Jacobs for continuing their operations, maintenance, and management services at the wastewater treatment plant.
Thank you, Mayor. You guys all may recall each year we come to you with a amendment for our contract with Jacobs for their operation of our sewer system wastewater treatment plant. This year, the amendment adds up to about a 16% increase, I believe. Most of that is due to increases in electricity bills and direct salaries of staff working there. So the costs have gone up and therefore there's additional cost to us. It typically goes up a few percent a year. This year is a little bit higher than it's been, but I think a big part of that's electricity. So yeah, the total contract amount for the next year is $1,584,091.29. And Royce Davis from Jacobs Group, operations manager, I believe that your title, manager of operations, is here to, I don't know if you have anything to add, Royce, or otherwise to answer questions.
Yeah, so just Royce Davis, geographical manager of operations, not that it matters, but here just answer any questions that you have. Just really appreciate the partnership with College Place. Toured the wastewater treatment plant today and the staff, and it's a great crew down there. They do a good job. They really care about the facility and the community, and work really hard to keep the water clean. And really, haven't been directly involved in the phase one upgrades and things, but toured those as well as today, and that's money well spent. Nothing like a nice new headwork screen that does a good job. It's a very important piece to make the whole process work right. So it's nice to see the progress that's going on down there. Yeah, but here for any questions anybody has.
Well, thank you for not adding another 5% for making you sit 2 hours. Check it on to next year's bill. Councilmember Lopez, questions or comments?
No questions. Thank you.
Councilmember Cleveland?
No questions.
Councilmember Espinosa?
Can you give us a breakdown of why this 16% increase? Are you adding headcount? What's changing?
No, like you said, well, shoot, almost 8% of that is the electricity went up, the power bill, just by the rate increase from the power company. And then the other one is, the big one is direct salaries. And it's not that the staff's getting, large increases or anything like that. It's just budgeted in there. We're trying to build the current staff and encourage them to get licensure improvements. So, they're basically get 3% increases, but then there's also some opportunity there for additional increases if they do get some new licensure advancement in the coming year.
Okay.
So that's where most of that's coming in. And then also some fringe benefits, insurance and things that go along with that as well in the direct salaries.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Peterson?
It's been a good relationship. I think it's, I don't know, would it be all quiet on the Western Front or something? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, lack of complaints, lack of, oh my goodness, situations that we've saw in the past, years and years ago now. But yeah, thank you so much. It's when it's quiet, it's good, right? So
Yeah. And I think there's been a few things this year that we've worked together with to resolve some odor complaints and things. But
yeah.
All quiet's good.
Councilmember Williams?
I don't have any questions, but I would just like to say whenever I teach those classes, I take my students to tour both College Place and Walla Walla.
Mhm.
And your staff are invariably amazing. So thank
Great.
you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Councilmember Sherman?
I don't have questions on this and neither do I have a question for tonight, but I'm really curious if it's possible to think about the budget that it is for us to have Jacobs versus what it would have been if we had kept it ourselves. Not that I'm saying that we do that.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to see because I would think that when we're not doing some of the costs directly, that there would be some sort of savings. And I was just thinking about that while we were looking at your numbers and hearing that, but that's all. I don't want anybody to talk about it tonight. It's the middle of
Yeah, and I don't have an answer.
But yeah, no, I just think it'd be a fun thing to look at some point. But thank you so much for being here.
Yep.
We appreciated having your partner.
And I'm going to second what Councilmember Williams said about touring. We were able to had an opportunity to take a tour earlier in the summer. And your staff were wonderful to us. They were well prepared. They were very informative. And it was really appreciated that they gave us that time and helping us understand what's going on over there.
Great. Thank you.
I do have one last thing to add. Typically each year, Whatever isn't spent, we've gotten in a rebate. This year we got a check from last year's budget, essentially. I think it was around $80,000, which has been pretty consistent. I think we're kind of expecting less than the coming years, but they do rebate us for money not spent.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions or comments? And they do keep a clean facility.
Yeah, they do. They do a good job, which
Would
you've
that-
toured a lot of wastewater plants. They're not all that way. So it does look good down there.
It does. All right. Well, thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
So if there's no other questions or comments, do we have a motion?
I move to authorize the mayor to sign amendment number 10 to the agreement for operations, maintenance, and management services for CH2M to operate the city's wastewater treatment plant.
Second, Peterson.
Thank you. We have a first and a second. Any additional discussion? If not, do we have, let me start that over again. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it and the motion to authorize the mayor to sign amendment number 10 has passed. Ms. Garcia now will present on the ordinance finally establishing a College Place City Council Salary Commission.
Okay, thank you. We are finally here after a couple of presentations. We have an ordinance for council to hopefully pass tonight, establishing a College Place City Council Salary Commission, which will be made up of citizens and non-employees, and wrote my first ordinance. It was very exciting.
Well, congratulations. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It's addictive.
All right, Councilmember Lopez, questions or comments?
Good job. Thank you.
Councilmember Cleveland,
No questions.
Councilmember Espinosa, Councilmember Peterson,
questions. Thank you.
Councilmember Williams,
No question. Thanks for your work on this.
and Councilmember Sherman.
No question.
All right, so we have no questions or comments. Is there a motion for ordinance number 25-010?
Speaker ones. This is Councilmember Williams. I will move to adopt ordinance number 25-010, establishing a College Place City Council Salary Commission.
Thank you. Is there a second? I guess everybody wants to stay a little later. All right. All right, we have a first and a second to adopt ordinance number 25-010 as written by City Clerk Garcia. If there's no additional discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the ayes have it and the motion to adopt ordinance number 25-010 has passed. All right, finally, last, Ms. Garcia will present a resolution citing specific events the city plans on financially support in 2026.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. So this has been something the city has been doing since time immemorial for me. And long story short, it is recommended that cities issue a resolution for auditing purposes so that we can support various community events. I did write this like 2 weeks ago. I did add. Maybe I didn't add any. Oh, no, the College Place branding event that is there, as well as the College Place art show event. We don't have a name for any of those yet, but those are two things that are tentatively on the list. And yeah, hoping the city wants to continue putting on these events.
And these community events are city events, right? Within the city of College Place, not,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
The Walla Walla Veterans Day Parade.
Except for the Walla Walla Veterans Day Parade where we
My understanding is we sponsor it.
sponsor,
We give them
yes,
some money.
right.
Mhm.
Except for that one because we don't want to separate people from parades on that, for that event. Yep, no, two separate parades aren't necessary. All right.
One really.
Yeah, Councilmember Lopez,
I love seeing these events. Thank you for putting this together.
Councilmember Cleveland.
These really are kind of the soul of College Place that's kind of come in Cause I remember when I was a kid, we had these things, they were fun, and then they just disappeared for ages, and now they're back, and I'm really appreciative of that to everyone involved and maintaining it.
Councilmember Espinosa,
No questions, thank you.
Councilmember Peterson,
No questions, thank you.
Councilmember Williams.
Just to add on to what Councilmember Cleveland said, I was surprised when I saw the list at how much we have taken on over the years and without adding a lot of staff. And so kudos.
And we've also cut down the budget in my department significantly. I'd like to point that out.
Councilmember Sherman.
And yet we're still able to do these. So that is so wonderful. Thank you very much. This is awesome.
And I would like to note that I listened in to the ed tech meeting last week. I believe it was last week. Yes, last week. Where City Clerk Garcia had submitted a number of grant requests from them for their trying to keep funds here in College Place to support College Place events for the College Place community. I don't know the number, but there was at least 5 or 6 different grant requests for different events trying to get ed tech support so that it doesn't just come out of the city budget, or so that we could have a little bit a better event. So I do want to thank you for submitting those applications. Funding is decided by the Ed Tech Committee, they're not, well, that'll be discussed later, but thank you. Thank you for your efforts on trying to ensure that our events are of quality.
Yes, ma'am. And for the record, my budget came down before I submitted for those grants.
All right.
Sing.
Okay, let's see. So if there's no other questions or comments, do we have a motion on resolution number 25-056? It's only 9:10, you all.
Do it. I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 25-056, which certifies official community events for fiscal year 2026.
Second, Councilmember Williams.
Thank you. We have a first. Okay, we have a first and a second to adopt resolution number 25056. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, and the motion to adopt resolution number 25-056 is approved or is passed. So, okay, there's 2 administrative reports this week. First, Councilmember Peterson with the support of, oh, look at that. The support of Clerk Garcia will appraise the Council of the Lodging Tax. It was the LTEC, not EdTech. Sorry.
I knew
LTEC.
what you meant.
Sorry, the LTEC meetings. Advisory Commission funding recommendation for council for fiscal year 2026.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Peterson says, yep.
The Lodging Tax Advisory Commission met last week. There were a number of proposals. They agreed to fund all but one of them, mostly in full. It's going to be a very exciting year, and I'm super excited. I am wildly, I can't believe we did it, but we got $16,000 for the downtown organization, tentatively, if council approves that. And we also are getting a little bit more for Freedom Festival next year because this year was so great. And so, yeah, it's going to be a great year, guys.
I would just add, what was my fancy title when you're on that?
Commission member Peterson.
I know. It was, that was my first time being on that committee, and it was the volunteers from the community. What a thoughtful group. Everyone cooperated, got along well, really good discussions, and the process that we went through to how to allocate it. And they had done their research, looking back at prior years, what the funding had been. Many of them got very involved. What was this? Our gift, what was that as a percentage of the total budget of some of those entities? I was really impressed with the whole process, and you did a great job. And Ms. Boyle, well, yeah, it was smooth, and I think adjust and find
Yeah.
outcomes. So, yeah.
Thank you,
thanks.
sir. And also thank also Finance Director Carlton for his contributions because he really helped us get us over the finish line.
All right, now Clerk Garcia will recap Halloween trunk or treat.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm so sorry. I added Winterfest. There are actually 3 administrative reports. I added that at the last minute. I'm so sorry for that change in the agenda. But long story short, Halloween was awesome. There were so many people there. It was crazy. Did you guys go? Like, do you know? Oh my God.
How
many people?
No.
No way. Yeah. It was so crazy.
We were running out of candy. I mean, booths were running out of candy. We were like thinking we were gonna have to close shop before.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. We're like, telling organizations, so sorry, but we can't buy you guys candy. They're like, well, we prepared for 2,000 kids, and we're out. And anyways, we had a pumpkin decorating competition. I have to say, like, the organization that put this pumpkin together, it's a true masterpiece. Rhett had such a good time. Look at him out there with the chalk. So cute. Anyways, just tons of kids. This was actually in the beginning before like the line became completely solid and completely full and running down the block. Ran all the way to Blue Mountain Credit Union at one point. And yeah, had vendors getting upset with us. There were too many kids there. Look at that baby. They're a team costume of some kind. He's Groot and he's a baby shark, and there's some kind of costume with that. Anyways, and we didn't think to take pictures, and so I just yeah, anyways, got a backdrop this year. We're gonna use it forever, and it was a great investment. A lot of people used it, so.
Yeah, I will say I saw the kids really had a lot of fun. This year, I saw more adults dressed up and participating in the event than I'd ever seen in the past. There's always been some parents but this year there was quite a few that dressed up and participated in making it a real fun event.
Ace Ventura was here.
Ace Ventura was here. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to tell the difference.
Rizzatello was here.
Oh, Mike Rizzatello was here. You should have seen, Robert had an excellent costume. The staff really go all out. The police department, the fire department, they're just making it such a fun event for everyone. So it was just, thank you so much for that. I really enjoyed it, and I know those kids really enjoyed it.
I heard really good feedback, and nobody came trick or treating at my house until after it was over.
Thank you very much.
Buttons all the way.
Took the shirt right out of
It was. All right. So did I for a split second. Yep, finally there's close out the night with Winterfest 2025 plans.
Okay, thank you. Very exciting year. We already have 21 parade signups. We have 5 vendors, and we have 12 gingerbread house competition signups as well. We actually changed that around this year. We're doing it by household because it was clear that sometimes the parents helped the kids, and they turned out really outstanding last year. So we just decided to do it by household this year to try to open up the creativity of the families. We're also going to have 2 hours of a Calico Christmas by Calico Bones. They have the cutest little voices. I don't know if you guys have ever heard them sing, but they're angelic. And so they'll be singing there for a couple of hours. We're also looking at doing things. There may or may not be a surprise visit from the Grinch. We're looking at face painting and, all the fun things that we do and all of it. I'm starting to clam up. Okay. It's going to be great.
How many vendors did you say we had?
So
5?
far, just 5. Last year, we had 12 total. And so being this early in the season, I only had 11 days last year to plan this event.
Yeah.
So we're doing really well. And we're also being very selective we really want to create a really awesome, retail market where you can find awesome stuff in a variety of price ranges. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, trying to get small independent vendors, who make jewelry, make, quilts, whatever, it's a good opportunity for unique Christmas gifts.
Yeah, we're going for food too. We've got some food vendors signed up this year as well. And yeah.
All right, questions or comments at all? Anything more of the events? Anybody volunteering to dress as the Grinch?
That's just,
All right. So there's no informational reports for you. So just a reminder, the last meeting is just in December is canceled in observance of the Christmas holidays. Is there any other business for good of the order? All right. Okay, so at the December workshop, we would like to try to get a group photo. So if everyone can be here in person, would be wonderful to get you in the picture.
In holiday clothing, ideally.
what?
Holiday.
I don't know what holiday.
So like ugly sweaters.
It really is up to Councilmember Lopez. He was the one that approved this discussion. And so, yeah. it's up to him.
Pajamas, there it is, pajamas.
Are we gonna have matching pajamas? So actually.
Yeah, Councilmember Williams.
We had talked about potentially having a place where council members would sign up to have have a booth essentially at the Winterfest or at events. And so I'm wondering if Winterfest might not be, good Lord.
Do you want to start?
Maybe we should try it and do a trial at Winterfest, and maybe we should talk about it next meeting. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, a dunking pool. Maybe having a table for elected officials where two could sit. Maybe three max and no fourth coming to visit. So I think that would be good. I mean, and letting people know that council members are there to greet them. That's a good idea.
I like, I think it'd be great.
Yeah. Actually, I do have a question. Comprehensive plan surveys, have we been getting them in?
Yeah, the survey closed November 1st, and I want to say we got around 80 in. So it was a good turnout for a survey, surprisingly.
Will we be seeing the results or highlights?
So we'll be sharing those with Planning Commission, and we can share them with.
I think just some highlights because if it's community members sharing their thought, I think it'd be good for the council to hear what community members are saying and thinking about what they'd like to see in their city.
There will be a summary of it. And
okay,
yeah,
great.
We'll
Thank
share that
you.
with council.
All right. So if there's no other for good of the order, gosh, it's getting late. Do we have a motion to conclude the meeting?
So moved.
Okay,
Second, Councilmember Woods. Engineers will have